Good evening, guys, girls. We got Tim, we got Brian, we got Harris. My name is Rob, and we may have more people here before the end of the day. We don't know. Uh, if you keep up with us week to week, we pick and we are experts at college and NFL. And if you put all your money our way, you will not regret it. I'm watching for stray bullets. Okay. All righty. Last week, um, college. Rob, Harris, and Brian went 2-4. Tim went 4-2, and Keith went 5-1. Baylor. BYU beat Baylor by 6. Baylor loses that one, and Keith, Rob, and Tim had that one. Oklahoma State, Kansas State. Kansas State buried Oklahoma State. Keith took Kansas State. Texas A&M didn't quite cover against Arkansas. They did win, but only by 4. So Arkansas, Keith and Tim took Arkansas. Georgia, Alabama. Alabama. They came out to play in the first half. Second half, they decided to fiddle around a little bit. Made a close game. Didn't matter. They won the ball game. Brian and Keith took Bama. Penn State, Illinois. We smelled a rat in that ball game. 17.5 points was way too many. It ended up biting Penn State in the ass. We all took Illinois in the points. We did well. Notre Dame, 6-point favorite. They covered by 7. Somebody at Notre Dame said, we want to get paid this week. So Harris and Tim both got that last week. All right. Let's look at this week's college games. We'll start with Tim. We're going to start in the new Big Ten. We got Michigan State visiting Oregon. The Ducks are 24-point favorites, 52.5. How about it?
That wonderful Michigan State performance against the Buckeyes on the Bird, which not many of us watched. Not me. Yeah, I would assume that Michigan State's not going to look much better. I'll take Oregon and the over.
All right. We got Harris.
Yeah, Michigan State's not even going to be able to play their type of game. They're not going to be able to control the clock. They're not going to be able to run the football. Oregon's going to blow them out, and we'll go in the over.
All right. And Brian.
Pretty much with everybody else, it's a long flight from Michigan State to Oregon. Pretty rowdy crowd at Oregon, too. And Oregon, I think, is a much better team. So I got Oregon winning the game 34-10. I got to change that because that's 24 points in it. Make it 35.
35-10?
35-10, yeah. 35-10 and be under.
Uh-huh. Okay. And I am going – I already had to put over on that, but I am going to take it under on this ball game as well. Yeah, I think Oregon dominates this game 34-7. 34-7. Michigan State probably gets lucky to score a touchdown. 41, and I'll play under the total. We got a Harris. We got Auburn. Their coach is on the hot seat. In Georgia, their players have a hot ass, and they're all ready to beat somebody's ass up. Georgia's 24-point favorites, 53 and a hook. Have at it, Harris.
Mute.
Am I muted?
No.
Harris is muted.
Yeah, I see it. All I can say is I'm glad I'm not the other 119 Division 1 teams this week because they don't want to be in this game.
Yeah.
Auburn, you know my luck with Auburn. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Georgia in a rout. And what's the total?
53 and a hook.
It's gonna go under.
Okay. All right, Brian.
Okay, I've got there's a pretty good quarterback at Auburn, Peyton Thornton, I think is his name. and he threw for 338 yards. Yeah, I wonder if Georgia's going to have a little bit of a letdown after that tough game with Alabama. Possibility for that. So I don't have Georgia covering. I think they'll win the game 35-15.
Okay.
So not covering for Georgia
And under.
and under.
All right. I think Georgia is the maddest team out there right now. And I can't think of a team that I would want madder at me than them. 48-14 Georgia romps. I'll take Georgia in the over. Tim.
Oh, yeah. Georgia's going to be pissed off. They came back. Furious comeback. Beck won't play like garbage like he did in the first half. Ran probably better defense. Then I'll take Georgia. And you know what? Since I don't think the other team's going to score, I'll take the under.
All righty. Going to Brian. We had Ole Miss traveling to South Carolina. Is this a late game? I think it's a 3:30 game, but it may be a 7 o'clock game. I think it's a 3:30 game, though. South Carolina is really tough at night. But I think it's a 3:30 game. I'm not sure. Ole Miss, 9-point favorites at South Carolina. Brian.
Got a chance to see South Carolina Stadium earlier this summer. We go by there, took a good look at it. South Carolina's pretty tough at home. Ole Miss has not been playing at the top of their game. Favored by 9. No, I think Ole Miss will win the game, but I'll pick South Carolina to cover.
All right. So Brian will take South Carolina 52.5.
Let's go under.
All right. Yeah. Ole Miss is tripped up over themselves, and I would worry here. This is a spot I think South Carolina could win this game outright. I don't think they will. It's clear under for me. I'll take South Carolina to cover with the points. Ole Miss wins straight up 21-17. So I take South Carolina and the under. Tim.
This is still the same Ole Miss that has Jackson Dart as quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah. They're playing well.
I don't know too much about South Carolina, but 9.5,
9 straight.
9 straight. I'll go. Give me Ole Miss and the under.
All right. Harris.
It is a 3:30 game, by the way.
Is it? Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to go Ole Miss and the over.
All right. Comes to me now. We're going to the Big Ten. Iowa. The Hawkeyes making a trip to Columbus, playing Ohio State. Ohio State, a 20.5-point favorites. 44 in the hook. And you know what? Iowa has a defense, whether you want to admit it or not, that can travel. They've got a defense that can travel. They are going to hold this team to 24 points or less. That means if Iowa can score that much, they win. They're not going to score that much. I'm taking Iowa in the points, though. I think 20.5 is a joke. Ohio State wins this game 24-10. It's not a laugher, but I'll go with the under 24-10. Ohio State wins. Iowa covers. Tim.
And it seems like a high number, especially if, well, plus this is a 3:30 game as well. Thankfully, it's in Ohio State. Because last time I remember them playing Iowa, they got their doors blown off. Still don't see the Iowa offense, trying too much. Wow.
Does Iowa
like 30-9
So Ohio State does cover
cover and under
30-9. So Ohio State by Tim, and he'll go with the under. Harris.
This is a game that could trip Ohio State up. They may be looking ahead to Oregon next week. I'm going to take Iowa in the upset this week, and we're going to go over.
Over. Okay. Brian.
Ohio State has only given up more than 17 points one time since 2022. So I don't see Iowa getting more than 17. Iowa has not given up anything more than 90 yards rushing. So we'll see how Ohio State runs the ball.
Yep.
And Iowa's given them 0 rushing touchdowns this year. So that's going to be interesting. I've got Ohio State winning but not covering. Ohio State 30, Iowa 17.
All right. And that will be with the over.
Yes.
All right. Go to Tim. ACC time. Clemson making a trip to Tallahassee, Florida State. But Clemson's favored by 14 and a hook. 46.5 is the total. Have at it, Tim.
I don't see the point spread. I really don't. Maybe 10, maybe 13 points, not 14. So I think Clemson will win, but not by as much as you need. And I will go with the under.
All right. Tim will go with the under, and you'll take Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm going to go the exact opposite. I'm going to take Clemson in a rout in the over. And they may put the total on themselves.
Would that mean that would be bye-bye Florida State coach after that game?
Florida State, he's already lost the locker room. He's lost it.
Yeah. What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, I'm thinking the same way as Tim and Harris. I think Clemson has got a better coach. I know they started slow. I know he doesn't take transfer portals, but I think they're kind of putting things together in Clemson. See, I think Clemson is going to beat them definitely more than 9 and going over. I got Clemson.
All right. Yeah. I'm with Tim. I'm with Harris on this ball game. Florida State may be lucky to get in the end zone in this ball game. They are really just kind of. Plus, Clemson knows this kid Ukulele or whatever, and he's not even playing, but they know him because he's played at 4 other schools or 3 other schools. It's crazy. 34-7. I will take. I'll take Clemson in a rout here in this ball game. I will go with the under. So I had the over originally. I will go under 34-7. Go to Harris, Michigan. Travels to Apple time. Goes to play Washington. Washington, a 2 and a hook favorite. 40.5. Have at it.
Everything tells me to take Michigan in this game, except that travel out west. All went. I'm going to do it anyway. Give me Michigan and the under.
All right, Brian.
This is Michigan's first road game, and it's a long travel to the west, just like Michigan State has. So I think Washington's going to win this game 22-19.
22-19.
Rematch of the national championship game.
And that would just barely go over, and you'll take Washington.
Yes.
And I will swear to you, Brian did not see my score before we started. Something tells me Washington shows up for this game. I don't know. Michigan, they have offensive line, defensive line, but they've had problems. They've had their openings in it and cracks in it. And their skill position players scared the hell out of me. I don't think they're as good as people think they are. 24-21. Washington wins this ball game straight up. I will go Washington and the over. Tim.
I think this could be late field goal game. I don't like Michigan's passing game. The quarterback, the Portnoy from Barstool Sports said he'd pay the NIL money for a QB transfer for next season.
Yeah.
I was like, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I will go. How about Washington 17, Michigan 16?
Oh, so you'll take Michigan with the points then.
Yep.
So Tim will go with the under. All right.
By
Brian.
the way, Royals have a 2-1 lead going to the bottom of the sixth.
And the base is loaded.
Not well, that's end of the inning.
Oh, my God.
He's ahead of you.
Okay.
And Brian, Missouri, the Tigers traveling to Texas A&M, a 2.5-point favorite,
And
48 and a hook.
I'm a little surprised that Texas A&M is favored in this game. The quarterback at Texas A&M, Marcel Reed, is like 59% passer, and that's kind of the lowest rating in a Power 5 conference for a quarterback. I know Missouri the last 2 weeks they played tougher teams. They've not been together, but they've had a week off. And I think because Texas A&M's pass defense is 94th, I think quarterback from Missouri Cook will be cooking. He'll find Luther Burden. He'll find Weiss. Your running back in Missouri, Nails, also. I've got Missouri winning this 27-20. So I got under the Missouri.
And you're going to pick Missouri to win. So you'll go Missouri and the under.
all right, Rob, before you get started, say hello to Erica in the chat room. If she's still
Erica Taylor says Pittsburgh's a lock versus North Carolina. Where is that being played, Erica? Are they playing in Pittsburgh or are they playing down in North Carolina? Which it shouldn't matter. James Madison threw a 70-burger on them, 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, I think.
70-50. Yeah. Put
That's
50.
North Carolina.
It was playing down in North Carolina. Yeah, you got like Pittsburgh if they've got any kind of offense to be able to at least put the ball in the end zone there. Anyway, this game right here, I like Missouri too. I don't understand why A&M's favored. Kyle Field is not been friendly, being as friendly to A&M as you'd think. Maybe they're not dominating teams. 29-24. I like Missouri in this ball game. Upset. And I will go with the over. Tim.
Yeah, Missouri's, to me, the better team. I'll take them to win. And let's see, over-under. Is it in the 50s?
48 and a hook.
I'll go the over.
All right. Harris.
Go A&M in the over.
Harris says he'll go A&M and over. All right. We go back and look at last week's NFL picks. Let's see. Tim went 6-10. Rob went 6-10. Harris went 6-10. Keith went 7-9. Brian 10-6. Well done. Over-unders. Keith went 4-12. Brian went 6-10 on that. Rob went 7-9. Tim went 8-8. Harris went 9-7. So the over-unders went well. Locks of the week. Pittsburgh. No. Las Vegas Raiders.
Yes.
Did they?
They won, and that's all they needed. They won by 3, I think. Or 4. They won by 4.
They won by 4, yeah. Now, when we do locks, do we work? Is it just straight up, right?
Yeah.
I was just,
Yeah.
okay.
Houston, they had a problem, right?
No, they won.
No,
I think.
Houston, that's right. They beat the Jags. So Tim got that. Harris with the Jets, 10-9 did not go well. And I took Kansas City straight up. They won as well. So, we'll see.
Rob, on straight ups, you won the week at 10-6, picking up straight up.
Okay.
And Keith and I were 9-7.
All right.
And me?
Harris, let's see, 8-8. Tim 7-9 straight up.
Okay.
Like I said, just trying to break even.
We go now to this week's NFL games. We start tomorrow night down in Atlanta, the Buccaneers. Hey, Erica, you can go as we go too, okay? You can say who you like, and we can always come back and look and see. If somebody wants to write Erica's teams as whoever she's taking, over-unders or whatever, with points, we can do it or whatever, and you'll be our guest this week. How about that, Erica? So, first game we got this week, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons, a 2-point favorite in this game, 43 and a hook, and I don't see it. I do not see this game at all. Atlanta scored 2 touchdowns last week that had nothing to do with their offense. One a return and one that was a defensive touchdown. You are not getting the ball down the field with number 18. It's just not happening right now. I don't know what they got to do. Maybe they have to start running the football more. Tampa Bay, they're going to be pissed. They're going to be good and mad this week. I think they're going to come out and really, really play well. 23-21, Tampa doesn't need the points. They're going to win straight up. I will go with the over, 23-21. Tim.
You think they're mad because you don't think they're still getting enough respect after they blew out the Eagles on Sunday?
They are just they just seem like, to me, that's a team with the attitude on the shoulder and all. I just think this is a team that says 10 games is not a win.
Nope.
Baker's passing yards over 225. I like that chance. I think he will.
I agree.
I'll take that. Yeah.
So, Erica, who you like in this game, Tampa or the Falcons? If you get,
I agree. I think that the Tampa should win this game, which means hell, I'll take Tampa.
And the over/under 43.5.
Just over. I think it might be like 24-20.
Well, and I went 23-21. Okay, Harris.
And I'm beginning to believe more and more in Mayfield. I'm going 27-14 Tampa Bay.
27-14. So it's under again.
I will also warn Erica, this is for entertainment purposes only. Please do not take this as gospel.
Unless you have the money to lose.
Unless you got a lot of money, right? Brian, go for it.
I think Atlanta's Falcons' run defense between the tackles is pretty weak, so I think Baker Mayfield has a chance to have something of a balanced attack. And Captain Mayfield has found his treasure island in Tampa Bay. I'm picking Tampa Bay to win this game, 24-21.
24-21 so far. We're all pretty close, and it's over. All right. We go to Tim. Tim, on Sunday morning, early Sunday morning, they're going to be over. Are they in Germany or are they in England?
They're in London.
London. Okay. We got the Jets and the Vikings. I'm not even going to call either one of these a home team or whatever. Vikings are 2.5-point favorite, 41. Tim.
Wow. And the Vikings overcame a lot to win on Sunday. Not a great. The second half, I think, was not great, but I mean, you don't know what you're getting with the Jets now. Are they gonna have a wake up call and finally say, "Hey, we got 2 pretty decent running backs. Maybe we should try running the ball," or maybe Rodgers has a little come to Jesus meeting with his receivers, going, "You run the route that I tell you to run." And because I think I 2 points,
2.5, 2.5.
Oh, I'll say the Vikings win this by 2. So I'll take the Jets to cover, but not to win. And
41.
Go over.
All right. Harris.
As Erica said, Rodgers is on the injury report this week.
Yeah, I saw that.
People.
I saw that.
Besides that, 9:30 Eastern time, it's way too early for Rodgers to be out of bed anyway to play football. All right, if he does play, it's going to do a disservice to the Jets this week. Minnesota wins this game 38-10.
You realize that's about 2:30 London time in the afternoon?
Yeah, I know. But look, they're not going to adjust that quick.
Well, they're probably already over there now, aren't they?
They should have been over there by Monday evening.
Should have been, yeah. I
I
agree.
think he got there yesterday.
Yep,
yeah.
that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yesterday. Brian.
I think the New York Jets are getting a pretty poor coaching job from Robert Saleh. 5 pre-snap penalties, 13 penalties in general. That's really the coaching, because Rodgers has always had a lot of work that he puts into his pre-snap penalties and for his line not to be ready for that. That's all on Saleh. What the Jets got off to the Vikings got off to a 28-0 start last week. They need to finish better, but I think they're going to win this game 22-17.
22-17. That's 39 points. So Brian will take the Vikings and the under. What'd you say, Harris? What was your score?
38-10 Vikings.
Vikings.
I'll say 37-13, and I'll just be right on your coattails. Yeah, I don't see why the Vikings can lose, how they can lose this game. Rodgers is a statue back there. He cannot move. And that's a team. This is a team that has a pass rush. They're a top 5 team in the NFL. I'll set that out there right now. They're a top 5 team in the NFL. I'm not sure they're top 3, but they're a top 5 team out there in the NFL right now. Nobody wants to play them at home or on the road. This team is playing well. Sam Darnold, I don't care what anybody wants to say about Sam Darnold. Game manager, this and that. They're 4-0. They're 4-0. They're going to be 5-0 after this week. I'll take the Vikings, and I will go with the over. Harris, we got the Chicago Bears hosting the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers' hope last week kind of went poof, but that doesn't mean that they can't go into Chicago and win. Chicago 3.5-point favorites, 42.
Chicago 20-10 this week.
Chicago 20-10. Harris just makes it quick. Bears and under. Brian.
DeAndre Swift had 165 all-purpose yards last week. He could have another banner day against Carolina. I've got Chicago winning this game 30-13.
Oh, okay. So he's just going to go with the over. All right. 30-13. Me and Harris must have got our papers together before the start of the game. I mean, start of the show tonight, but we didn't get caught by the teacher, so we were all right. 20-16. I like the Bears in this ball game. I'll take the Bears and the under. Tim.
Bears are 3.5 points.
Yeah. I went 20-16.
Wow. The Panthers have actually looked okay the last couple of weeks with Dalton, but to me, the Bears are at home. Yeah, let's give them a 20-16 win.
That's what I just did. Yep. All right. All righty. Going to Brian. The Browns. Kind of in a sad state right now. And the Commanders. Are they jokes? And they just playing a joke on us, playing a rude joke on me and Keith. I don't know. We'll see. Commanders, 3-point favorites in this game, 44 total. Have at it, Brian.
Well, we haven't seen much of the Commanders' punter.
Do they have one?
Yeah, Jalen Daniels.
They punted twice last week. So. Yeah.
Jalen Daniels has been spectacular. And I don't see that stopping anytime soon. Still not happy with Commanders' defense still. But Deshaun Watson's not throwing the ball well. Cleveland did try to run the ball a little more last week. The scoop and score by the defense helped a lot. I've got, Cleveland. I got Washington winning this game by 6, 27-21.
27-21. Brian's going with the over. I'm like this about it. They beat the Bengals. They beat the Cardinals, and we know the Bengals have a better. Well, I'll say this: the Bengals have a better quarterback than Cleveland's quarterback is this year. I'm not going to necessarily go as far as say the Cardinals' quarterback's better, but I do know one thing: either this kid is a real deal, or he is really, really showing an awful lot of stuff, and it's going to kind of fade away. I think they're better than this team. I think they're better than the Browns. I'll just go as far as say that. I'm not on it. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid yet to the point to where I think he is a top 10 quarterback in the league or anything like that. But I don't think many teams right now, if they had the chance to get this kid, would turn it down. And that feels good when you're a Washington fan. 33-19. I think Washington stays in the 30s this week. I think their offense is for real. 33-19. I'll take the Commanders, and I'll go over.
They rediscovered McLaren last week too, and that's another key for
Yeah.
them.
And they've got a lot of weapons.
Yeah, they certainly do. Although, besides the fact that the Browns are missing 2 offensive linemen again, Teller and probably Jedrick Wills, if not their center who got hurt, and they had to put another guy in and got a costly holding penalty. 1 touchdown for the offense and the defense last week for the Browns. The thing is, though, is that the Browns defense hasn't allowed anybody to reach, well, except for the Cowboys week 1. They've held teams pretty good the last 3 weeks. So, I mean, the offense can't do crap. So, I'll take the Commanders to win 26-13.
26-13. Tim will take the Commanders, and he'll go with the under. Harris, Commanders are the Commanders for real, or are they just joking us?
Oh yeah, they're definitely for real this year.
Okay.
Right now, I'm going to tell you right now, and this is painful. Washington will win the NFC East.
Whoa!
And you know how painful that is for me to say.
That's a strong statement.
I'm telling you that right now. They win the NFC East.
Wow.
Commanders 24-13.
And so you are going to take Commanders 24-13?
And that's the first time since they've changed their name that I've called them Commanders.
Yeah. They played well last week. I'll give them that. So you're taking Commanders and under.
I still like the old helmets.
Yeah. 20, did you say 24-13?
24-13.
Okay. Coming to me now, Dolphins. A 1-point favorite going to the Patriots. 36 and a hook. I'm going to ask one question. How in the hell are the Dolphins favored against anybody? I realize it's the Patriots, but let's run your clock back. If you hadn't watched our show, go back to week 1 and watch Rob. And Rob said this to you. This Patriots team is not the worst team in the NFL, and they are not the worst team in the NFL. No. They're playing a team that is worse than them right now, as long as they don't have Tua. Is Tua back this week?
No, he's on IR.
So he's got 3 more weeks. 3
more weeks.
Okay.
I'm actually looking at that right now.
All right. You know what? I like the Patriots and what they try to do. They don't try to overdo what they can do. They play within their game. Their home stadium helps them. Daniel Berry, what's going on, my friend? I like the Patriots in this ball game. Straight up. I'm gonna go 16-12. It's gonna be under the total. Come on.
And what's up, Arnold Hunter too? And
36 and a half, I think, is high for this game. I'm going to go 16-12. I will take the Patriots and the under.
Don't laugh yet.
Tim.
All right. We got Arnold Hunter to go with Daniel and
Erica says
backup quarterbacks. Yeah, and I agree. Plus, both Snoop Huntley and Skylar Thompson are hot garbage, too. I'm not saying Brissett at least can manage a game well enough to at least get the Patriots a win.
Mm-hmm. So who you go take? You go take the Dolphins.
Like, how about something like 19-8?
Dolphins?
No, Patriots.
Tim's a 19-8. He's going to go under.
Oh, I'm gonna start pulling up, see if we got some
Just say,
score
Miami
down going
only
on
has
here.
to suffer at least 2 more games after this one. All
Okay.
right. Tua is right now symptom free. All right, but he's not allowed to return to the field in any capacity yet.
Okay.
Miami should be better this week with Huntley at quarterback. All right, but I still don't think they find the end zone. 14-9 New England.
14-9 New England. I said 16-12, so we're not that far off. Brian, tell us why the Dolphins win this game.
I can't. When you see the sideline views of head coach Mike McDonald on the sideline, he looks like a deer in the headlights with everything that's going on with the Dolphins. I've got New England winning 17-14.
17-14. That is 31's all. So we all went with the under here. All right.
So if you're betting, take the over.
Only rushing yards. I cashed it Monday. Tim, the Colts going to go take on the Jags. The Jags are 2.5-point favorites in this game.
Why?
I will tell you why in a moment.
I don't. I think I might know why.
46 is a total. Do you want me to tell you in advance of your picks?
Is it
Tim,
because Anthony Richardson is starting again?
No.
No, Flacco's
They have beaten the Colts in Jacksonville 9 straight times. 9 straight losses for the Colts in Jacksonville. Tim.
I will say that streak gets broken. This is a fractured football team that unfortunately doesn't know their butts from their elbow. I'll take what's the spread? 3.5?
2 and a hook. 2 and a
Okay,
hook.
so fine. Give me.
It don't matter though if you've taken the dog to win. It don't matter.
Yeah, it don't matter. Okay, yeah, I'll take the Colts to win by a field goal.
46 is a total though.
I like the under, like 20, something like 23-20 or something like that.
23-20. So Tim will go Colts and the under. Have at it, Harris.
Is it too soon for Jacksonville to start thinking about the number 1 pick? That's how bad they look right now. They look like a train wreck.
Erica says the Jags are back home. Erica, who's going to win, Erica?
Colts blow them out 31-17.
31-17. And that will be a Harris
And,
Colts in the over.
Also, Jacksonville's on a 10-game losing streak.
Yeah. Brian.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Every year it's a new team. It's a different team. They might have lost. They might have beat Indianapolis 9 times in Jacksonville, but different team, different situation. Jonathan Taylor's playing with a lot of energy. And Joe Flacco, we know he can play. So I've got Indianapolis winning the game. What's the line on the game again?
2 and a hook. The other way. But you got Indianapolis, so it don't matter.
Yeah, okay, good. So
Jacksonville favorite.
I do think it'll be a close game. So I got Indianapolis 21-19.
21-19. Brian will take it and go with the under. The only thing, Harris, did you go over? You went over the total.
You gotta do. I went 31-17, so 48.
Yeah, 46. You went over. I'm going over the total too here. I think it's a close ball game, but I think the Jacksonville coach is the first to get fired Monday morning. Boom, boom, he is done. 26-24. He's going to be at home, and he can stay at home. I'll take the Colts in an upset, 26-24. I'll go with the over. And we will go to Harris now. Harris, the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills traveling to Houston to play the Texans. The Bills are only a 1-point favorite. That is it. 46 on the hook. Harris, tell us
You're not
why.
going to see Allen have back-to-back games that look more like a Pop Warner quarterback. He probably has worst game in 3 years last week.
Who is that?
I am going to take Buffalo 30-27.
30-27, and that will be 57. So Buffalo Harris will go with the over. Brian.
Josh Allen had a bad game, but he still can complete an amazing pass. A 50-yard pass while he was being chased out of bounds. That led to their first TD. Von Miller got suspended for 4 games, so he's not playing for Buffalo. Buffalo, they got boat raced by Baltimore. Man, they were never in that game. Houston's kind of shuffling along. Diggs, I think, is like a clubhouse problem, and I think that problem is transferred from Buffalo to Houston. It's not going well right now at Houston. He got a rushing touchdown. That's the first of his career. But I'm taking Buffalo to win this game, 26-24.
26-24, you'll go with the over. All right. Coming to me now. I like Buffalo. I like Buffalo in this ball game. I like Josh Allen. I just wish Josh Allen wasn't the leading rusher on your team. That's when you're in trouble. You got to have some running backs, and eventually he's not going to make it. And they're not going to win a Super Bowl until they get themselves a number one running back there that he can hand the ball to and he can stand back and watch them. They're better than this Texans team, though. Stroud, it's awful quiet about him this year. You don't hear anybody saying he's having a sophomore jinx. No. That's just the way it works in the NFL now. Last year he was all-world. This year, well, he just doesn't have the players around him. Garbage. Stroud is having a sophomore jinx. He's not as good as we thought he was eventually. At first. It's just not it's not happening for him. 27-24. Bills win this ball game and cover. I'll go with the over. Tim.
Yeah, I think that top to bottom, I think the Bills are a better team. I'll go 28-24 Bills.
28-24 Bills. Tim goes with the over. We go to Brian. Brian, the Ravens at the Bengals. The Ravens put a ass whipping on the Bills last week, which I predicted that. I predicted that they were going to win by 10 or more points last week, the Ravens. I predicted that one. They're going to the Bengals, and they're only 2.5-point favorites. 51. Have at it, Brian.
Well, Derrick Henry got our attention the first play from scrimmage with an 87-yard run, and even the defensive backs couldn't catch him. 250-pound man running down the field like that was unbelievable. 150 yards total offense. I think there will be more games because Baltimore is kind of figuring out how to use him with their offense. Let's see, Baltimore, Cincinnati. What are they, 0-4 now?
Yep.
They are.
Their season's done.
Are they going to be 0-5, though?
Yeah.
They're 1-3.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they did win one.
Yeah. I got the Ravens. They're going to win this game 27-25.
Oh, so you'll take the Bengals in the 2.5.
Yeah. It's going to be a close game.
27-25, that's 52, so you'll go the over. Barely, though. 51's the over-under. I'm sorry. This Bengals team is not as good as that Bills team was. And they lit a torch up their ass last week. They said, they like M80s. This Bengals team is going to get lit and thrown and strung around. Look, Washington beat the crap out of them. This team can run a football better than Washington can run a football. They're going to march right into Cincinnati, 37-23. We're not going to know what's happened to that team. I'll take the Ravens, -2.5, no problem. I'll go with the over. Tim.
And then Lamar should have his fair share of rushing yards, although I think that he has a little bit more help with Henry. Don't be shocked at both of them if Jackson runs for like 75, 80 yards, and then Henry gets his probably 85 to 95 yards as well. I think the combination of that leads to a nice, crisp 31-27 let's say 22 victory for the Ravens.
All right. So Tim will take the Ravens in the over. Harris.
Sad thing is, I got the Ravens winning this game, and Harbaugh's probably still going to leave 20 points on the field somewhere. All right. Ravens 27-13.
27-13. So
Yeah.
Harris will go
Rob,
with the under.
Rob, I want to change mine. I got a little system going that I use, and just drove 1,500 miles the last 2 days. So I need a little more time to think about that game. Baltimore, I think, will win 30-25. So I want Baltimore covering.
30-25, and you'll go with the over, Brian.
Yeah.
All right. That's not a problem. Not a problem at all. Coming to me now, the Raiders heading to Denver, Mile High Stadium, to play the Broncos. The Broncos are 2.5 favorite with their rookie quarterback who has won 2 games in a row. Knows how to win now at 36.5. That's how much confidence the NFL has in these two teams scoring points. Yeah. Look, both of these teams are not very good yet. They really aren't. But Bo Nix, I think he's got the mindset of, I got to be a game manager, but yet at times I have to take control and take the reins of this 53-man roster. I think he's just the right guy for Denver. Denver wins this ball game outright. They will cover 24-18. That's 42 points. So I'm going Broncos in the over. Tim.
Oh, I mean, you wonder if the little Antonio Pierce speech, it almost felt like a pro wrestling promoter. He went into business for himself. I mean, I don't know. Minshew did not look the greatest on Sunday against the Browns, but it felt like anybody could beat the Browns. Wow. I mean, maybe the Raiders get fired up for this game here. Like 16 to
Playing in Denver. Playing in Denver. Okay.
Yeah, 16-13, I think. Raiders.
So Tim will go with Raiders and under. Harris.
I'm going to open another can of worms here. Bo Nix is probably going to be the best quarterback out of this draft class.
Well, could be. I'm hoping Daniels is, but
Now, I think Nix is going to be better. I mean, nothing on Daniels. He's going to be right up there. Okay, but I still think Nix is going to be the best out of that class. I'm going to take Denver to win this game 14-13.
So you're going to take the Raiders in the points.
Unfortunately.
14-13, and you'll go with the under. Brian.
Well, Bo Nix was not all that last week in the first half. He was like 7 for 15 for -7 yards. Put it together a little bit in the second half. But Denver has a real defense. Things are unraveling in Las Vegas. It looks like we may have seen the last of Devontae Adams as a Raider.
Yeah.
Complaining about hamstring.
Looks like he might be going to the Chiefs. Looks like he's going to the Chiefs.
No, I don't know unless you've heard something more recent. I don't think the Chiefs have the cap money to.
Yeah, they don't have the salary.
Really?
Yeah, they don't have cap.
Plus, they'll trade him in division either.
Yeah, the Cowboys, and there's another team that's already talking with them about a trade. The Chiefs is not one of those
Atlanta?
Yeah, it might be Atlanta. Yeah, I know Dallas for sure is talking to him.
Yes.
Yeah, especially after the news Dallas got with Cooks today.
I'd like to see the Chiefs look at getting Amari Cooper.
Oh, hey.
Hey, Keith.
Hey, sorry, I had this
What's up,
end of the
Keith?
month crap. I had to stay and work on getting some GL accounts set up for some stuff.
You're fine. I'll tell you what, at the end of the night, I'll catch up with you and we'll get the picks.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I've got Denver winning this game 24-14.
24-14. He's going to go over.
Who did you pick straight up, Rob? Did you pick Denver?
Oh, I took Denver straight up and to cover. Yeah, not a problem. What if we do this now? We start with you, Keith. Do you want to do any picks now? Or you want to wait?
I can do the ones you're doing now, I guess.
All right, let's do it. We'll let you start right here on the West Coast. The Cardinals They're going to the 49ers, the little midget that could or could. Yeah, not too good last week against Washington. Niners look pretty decent. We're going to see what they do this week. 7.5 favorites are the Niners.
Are the Niners getting a little healthier with their receiver Samuel and running back McCaffrey, or no?
Not healthier, but Juwan Jennings is really good.
Yeah, I saw that he's been doing
50.5. All right. How do you like it there, Keith? Cardinals, Niners.
I like the under.
Okay.
I like the Niners to win.
7.5.
See, I keep thinking the Cardinals are going to be a decent team this year, but it all depends on whether Murray plays well. And not sure if that's going to happen yet. I think that the rest of the team will get better.
Yeah.
Let's see. They played 2 games in a row at home where they didn't look too good. Now they got to go on the road.
Yep.
I'm going to go with the 49ers here, but it's just the NFL being what it is these days. I'm not going to be surprised if the Cardinals cover.
But you're going to take the Niners to cover,
Yeah.
and you're going under.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, guys, Brock Purdy is the real deal. I don't care what anybody says. Brock Purdy's the real deal. Any quarterback missing as many of the players that he's been missing the last 3 weeks is going to have a trip up, a fall, or something. They're going to have that deal. They're 2-2. They're going to be 3-2. They are going to rock right over the Cardinals. 36-17. Niners are favored. They're going to win, and they will cover. I will go with Niners and over. Tim.
Yeah, I mean, it's the tale of 2 teams, I guess, but what team were you going to get? Plus, I think the 49ers defense could honestly completely shut down, but they'll probably hold Harrison. If he gets 60 yards, I'll be shocked.
Yeah. Connors plays hard for him. He always seems like he gets a few good runs.
But they got enough up the middle to stuff him, I think. If he could probably get 50 or 60 yards, but still, that's, average. I'll take the 49ers to cover and under.
Under. Go for it, Harris.
Purdy just being Purdy. Plain and simple. No matter who you throw out there. 49ers 28-10.
28-10. You'll go the under too. So Tim goes with the Niners and under. Harris goes with the Niners and under. And Brian, tell us why we're wrong.
I'm not going to tell you why you're wrong. San Francisco's been missing some pieces, but Kittle and Jennings have kind of picked up the slack.
Mm-hmm.
And Mason at running back has picked up the slack. I've got San Francisco 32-17.
32-17. And that is an under. All right, coming back to me. Giants. I'll tell you what, watch out for them boys before it's over. Seahawks. Seahawks missing a lot of parts this week. 6 defensive starters from game 1 to now is out. 6-point favorites are the Seahawks at home. 41.5. It don't scare me. I think the Giants are the most overrated team out there. I really do. Seahawks 26-13. I'm going with the under here. Yeah,
Who's got the Giants rated high?
Huh?
Who's got the Giants rated high?
You, if you pick them.
I haven't really picked them to beat anybody real good, I don't think, but I don't know.
They won 1 game somewhere.
Yeah, the Browns.
I predicted that, but
Malik Neighbors had a concussion last week. Does anybody know if he's playing?
If who?
Malik Neighbors, he had a concussion last week.
He's out. He's out. He's out.
oh man, that doesn't help.
Tim.
Well, with Neighbors out, that kind of puts the Giants very one-dimensional.
Not one, but un.
Undimensional. You mean they have a Keyword Zalo moment where they say Alex Trebek backwards and they go to another dimension?
No.
It's a Family Guy joke, by the way.
They did. Oh, right now they're saying he's in
Concussion
protocol, misses Wednesday's practice, and they are saying now game time decision, and it's looking like he's not probable. What's one under that?
Questionable?
Doubtful.
Doubtful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take the Seahawks to cover this game and go, and this will go under.
All right. Tim likes it the way I like it. Harris.
Giants could save a lot of money just staying home and forfeiting this week. Seattle 31-14.
31-14. Harris likes the Seahawks and the over. Brian.
Seattle might have some injuries, but if the Giants could not run the ball on Dallas last week, I mean, it was such an unimaginative running game. I thought they would be able to do that to Dallas, but they couldn't even run the ball against Dallas. So I've got Seattle 27, New York 17.
And they have what? Singletary is their running back?
27-17.
27-17. Yeah.
That's 44. So Brian will go with the over.
Does Seattle have their running back back?
Yes.
Well, I got Charbonnet, so that's
Yeah.
They got the guy from Michigan State back
I think
too.
Walker's
Walker's back.
Yeah.
Do they still have Penny too, or no? Did he
Who?
move on? The guy they drafted out of San Diego State, Penny, a couple years ago.
He played some, I think, while Walker was out, but I don't think he's getting much playing time when Walker's in the
Well,
game.
I know he played some last year when Walker was
I think
out.
he.
Charbonnet's been getting most of the carries in place of
Yeah.
Walker.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you hear about all these guys on defense being out, but then it's still NFL talent that's out there, in theory anyway.
And much harder to replace a receiver than it is a defensive back or lineman.
So I just think of the Giants, they lose a body or two during the game. That's not going to make it any better for them, obviously. Or maybe it does. Maybe they make a discovery. But going out there in Seattle, that's a tough, loud place to win.
Yeah. 6.
Seattle's offense, I think, will outscore them, even if the defense has any problems at all. I think Seattle scores enough points, and covering is always tough to predict in the NFL. But I will take the Seattle Seahawks to cover that one, and the over/under is what you're seeing it at what
41 and a hook.
Okay, 41 and a hook. Well, again, defensive guys out. I'll go with the over.
All right.
The Giants might get a couple scores.
We go to the last Sunday afternoon game. Tim, the Packers, 3.5-point favorites, going to travel to the Rams, 48.
yeah. No, Watson is out for the Packers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, Rams are a hard team to figure out. I mean, they pull off the upset win against the 49ers and they go out and lose.
I don't think they got Cup back, but they're getting one of their players back this week, the Rams.
Well, if Cup ain't back, then Nakua ain't back. And the Packers are 3-point favorites.
Yes.
I kind of felt like they outplayed the Bears last week, but they just didn't.
I'll take the Rams to win. And what's the over under?
48.
Oh, that actually sounds about right. I'll go 28-21 Rams.
So you'll go with the over. Harris.
When I looked at this, I had 48.5. So I've got to adjust here. I'm going to go 28-21 also. Well, I'm going Green Bay.
All right. Brian.
I thought they brought Jordan Love back too soon, and the broadcasters mentioned that he couldn't transfer his weight on his throws. Eventually, got it going in the second half, but I was very surprised that they didn't play Malik Willis last week because Jordan Love is not 100% healthy, not nearly yet. The Rams, they. 1 week they're there, 1 week they're not. I think they're still 2 injured. I got it being a close game. I'm going to assume Love is going to be healthier this time around. So I got Green Bay winning.
3.5.
But, yeah, I got Green Bay 26-24, so I'll pick the Rams to cover, but Green Bay winning.
26-24, you'll go with the over. All right. Keith, I'm sorry. Keith.
Well, one thing I remember with the Rams last week is they seemed like they had a lot of stupid penalties too. This offensive line had several, for one thing. They do seem to be able to get a fairly good pass rush, but they didn't really get home that much to get a sack. This caused pressure. Stafford still shows he can make some really good throws, different arm angles and stuff. But, yeah, I kind of think with the way that the Packers were able to rally in that second half of that game, I think that they'll play well this week and they'll find a way to win on the road. And
3.5. 3.5, though.
3.5. Yeah, I'll go to cover that for the Packers.
Yep.
But I'm going to go with the under. I just think it'll be a little closer
Right.
or a little lower scoring. Maybe what you guys think.
Yeah. If you saw the Packers last week, even after 2 drives, they should have yanked that kid and been like, "Hey, guess what? We'll give you 2 more weeks. Not just a week. You got to give him 2 more weeks." I'm not sure.
Got up and the coach yelled at him for getting up.
I'm not sure that he's going to make it through this game unscathed. The Rams have got a good pass rush. Something just tells me the Rams at home against a quarterback that's not 100%, and I think the pressure is on this kid to perform now. Willis should be playing. Willis should have played last week. He should play this week. For whatever reason, he's not. I like the Rams to win this ball game straight up, 27-26. I'll take the Rams in the over. Tim's already picked.
Already picked, yeah.
So we go to Harris. Sunday night football.
I missed Keith's straight up pick on this game.
Keith's straight up pick was at Packers.
Packers, okay.
Yeah, and he took him against the spread too. So he's actually giving up 3.5. What was your score there, Keith?
I didn't give a score, but I said it
He
was
says
under.
they'll win by 4 or more. Yeah. All right. Harris. A replay of how many different Super Bowls? 3 different times they played in the Super Bowl? Twice.
Well,
Twice.
well,
Cowboys.
3 times, right?
Yeah, 3, yeah.
3 times. That's right. They played in the 90s too. Yeah. Cowboys. Steelers. Steelers are a 2.5 point favorite in this ball game at home.
I don't know why. It should be more.
2 and a hook.
I mean, you could bring Ben Roethlisberger back, and he could play quarterback this week. Dallas is going to have no pass rush. Both their edge rushers are out. Now they have a receiver out with Cooks. Steelers 27-17.
27-17. So Harris will take the Steelers, and he will go with the over. Brian.
Yeah, some of the Cowboys couldn't make the finish line against New York. As you say, Parsons is out. Trevon Diggs couldn't finish the game. Pittsburgh is a very physical team. They will beat up the Dallas Cowboys. I thought maybe the Giants defense might beat up the Cowboys. They didn't. A couple of guys got knocked out. But, Pittsburgh's Russell Wilson is practicing again. So I'm not sure he's playing quarterback. Is it going to stay Fields or Russell Wilson be playing quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
I've got Pittsburgh winning 24-19.
24-19. That is 43, just over. So Brian will play, and 42.5 is what it is. So Brian will take Steelers in the over. Keith.
I'd definitely like the Steelers to win the game. I missed the rest of the what we're picking as far as the line and
2.5.
41 or 42.
42.5. Steelers are favored by 2.5.
Okay, I'll give the points. I'll go with the under on that too.
All right.
It seems like there's some issues between, and I know Parsons got roughed up, so he got hurt, but he's having some issues with the coaching staff too. It sounds like, and there's a little bit of hostility there. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if their coach ends up getting let go before the end of the season.
It could happen. It could happen. I'm seeing here Ferguson, tight end. He limped off of the practice field today as well. So that's not going to help the issues at all for the Cowboys. The Cowboys have a lot of problems offensively, and giving Dak all that money, you got to start wondering if it starts working into other people's heads. It's like, damn, y'all threw all that money to him, and y'all not going to spread the wealth to any of us. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know. Maybe they're all patting him on the back and they'll say, "Hey, buy me a steak."
Maybe it's premature to think this, but I mean, and maybe I'm nuts, but I mean, you got the Giants who are not that good of a team, and the Eagles and the Cowboys are kind of coming off the rails. The Commanders might actually have a chance to win the division this year.
I called it earlier.
He told us before we started the broadcast tonight. Harris told us, and he made that declaration. He said, "I think the Commanders will win this NFC straight up."
Yeah, the Commanders have more scoring drives this year than Daniels has incomplete passes.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. I won't be surprised if the Cowboys do show up and win this ball game. But everything points, man, to the Steelers. Steelers are at home. They're a tough team. I don't like their quarterback, and I think that he's eventually going to get tossed to the curb. But he's playing well right now. He's not doing anything stupid. And I say, and me and Keith agree, best coach in the NFL right now. You got good coaching. You got good defense.
Whether he's the best or not, I just really like.
I just like the way he keeps his team together.
He's got that even feel.
Plays with a reason. 30-18. This may be a premature game there to take, but I'm gonna take the Steelers and I'm gonna go over the total here. The Cowboys are more than capable of beating this team because they do have weapons, but they have got to get their stuff together if they're going to do it. Tim.
Minka shuts down CeeDee Lamb. TJ and Highsmith, but TJ will get the Prescott at least 2 or 3 times. I see a win for the Steelers.
2.5.
Yeah, by 5 or 6 at least.
42.5.
Let's go over.
All righty. We're going to Brian. Brian, Monday Night Football.
One more thing on that game. I mean, how many rushing yards do you think Pittsburgh might put up in that game? I mean, 150, 200. I mean,
They are capable. That's got to scare the Cowboys to death, because they have got. If I'm Pittsburgh, I've got to get more. I got to get more rushing yards than I do passing yards with Stroud in there. You don't want Stroud back there 30 times throwing the football. Not Stroud. Fields. You don't want him back there throwing the ball 30 times. I'm sorry. You just don't want him back there throwing the ball 30 times. I don't have confidence in him. 10, 15 passes is all you want him to throw the ball. And if they can run the ball 40 times, they'll do it. I'll say 180 yards team total. I don't know. That may be a little high. I don't know. Does anybody think they'll get 200?
No.
Russian?
Yeah.
No. They're going to throw the hell out of football.
Huh?
They're going to throw the ball all day long. Dallas is going to have no pass rush.
Oh, okay. I think they'll run for more yards than they pass. I think they will. You don't think so?
Fields is going to throw for 325 this week.
Woo! Keith, what do you think? Are they going to throw for 3 bills this week against that Dallas defense? I don't think so.
Like you, I think they'll only throw maybe 20 to 25 passes. It'll be kind of like the 70s again. I mean,
yeah. I don't think he'll throw for 200. I think they're going to run.
I think they'll have at least.
I hope you're right.
I think they're going to run the football, but I think they will be able to run the football. We'll see. I don't know.
Well, he won't need to run it.
Let's go to Brian. The Saints. They're heading to Kansas City. Kansas City plays every week at home, folks. Do you realize that? All 18 weeks of the year, Kansas City's at home. Every time
except when they don't.
Except when they're not. That's right.
Except when they're not.
They are playing at home this week. Kansas City is a 5-point favorite, 42 and a hook. Have at it, Brian.
All right, it's beginning to look like Rashee Rice may not have a torn ACL. It looks like a hyperextended knee. They won't know till the end of the week when they get done with the testing. But his injury looks the same as one of our players when I was in California as an athletic director. We had a kid that was hit exactly the same way. He missed, I think, if I remember right, he missed three weeks with a hyperextended knee.
Yeah.
So it might not be as bad as originally thought with Rashee. Now, Travis Kelce is not done. Travis Kelce is still Travis Kelce. He had 89 yards last week. And Kareem Hunt looked better than I thought he would look. He had burst. He looked like Kareem Hunt when he was with the Chiefs 5 or 6 years ago. So people talk about, Pittsburgh coach. I think Andy Reid doesn't get enough credit because, in the past, the Chiefs have not had a lot of injuries, and that's why they've been able to do so well in the playoffs. But they've had issues they have to deal with. Everybody said we're not going to make the Super Bowl when we lost Tyreek Hill. They changed the offense completely, and we made the Super Bowl a couple of times. Reid is, I think, the best NFL coach right now. And his defensive coordinator, Spagnuolo, has been spectacular. He's been, Mahomes has been playing average. The offense has been average, but Spagnuolo's defense has been better than average. They've been very good. I think Spagnuolo will get Carr off his mark. And when he's under pressure, he's not as good as we saw in the first 2 weeks. Does anybody know if Taysom Hill's playing?
He played last week.
He got 2 touchdowns, and then he got an injury.
Let's take a look here.
Let's see.
They still have Kamara, but our rush defense has been outstanding. So I think New Orleans.
What's Hill's Taysom.
Rib injury. Oof.
Yeah, that's painful. Those rib injuries.
Yeah.
They get a shot, but man, still.
Anyway, I see Spagnuolo putting a lot of pressure on Carr, and I like New Orleans rookie receiver Thomas. He's been doing well, but I've got Kansas City covering 29-16.
29.
I mean, there's people already writing off the Chiefs from to not win the Super Bowl. I think they're still going to get in the playoffs. Even they're going to get Hollywood Brown back at the end of the year sometime. Pacheco may not be back; he's got a broken leg.
Yeah.
But this is going to force them to use Xavier Worthy more.
Yeah.
I think they've not been using him as much because he's kind of slight and they don't want to get him hurt. But they're going to have to use him more.
Yeah. Keith.
Yeah, I like the Chiefs to win this probably by a couple touchdowns. I think it'll go under because I don't expect the Saints to score much more than 10 to 13 points in this game. So somewhere in the upper 20s for the Chiefs, maybe 27.
I heard in the background, so I think we know what happened.
Yeah, we're getting close.
Oh, the Royals?
Royals won, yep. It's final.
That's it. They're in.
Okay,
So
so the
Baltimore's done?
Baltimore.
Astros
done.
and Orioles are done.
Good. I love it.
So 3 out of the 4 teams in the
Those
division
Houston
series
ones, too.
are from the American League Central.
Wow.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
With one guaranteed to go to the LCS.
The same division as the powerful White Sox?
That team, Kansas City, lost 106 games last year. Talk about a manager's job.
Yeah.
They have turned it around. And they got some pieces, but Quintero's done
They're
a great
playing,
job.
playing well.
Man, that's
Yeah.
2 years in a row. The Orioles. Did they even win a postseason game last year when they had?
I don't think they did.
No, they lost. They
They've
lost.
been swept the last 2 years in the playoffs
3-0 and 2-0.
Yeah.
with home field advantage.
Yeah.
All right, Tim, tell us what's happening here.
What's happening is well, what's up Mahomes? I don't see that the defense being enough to force Mahomes to, the bad first half that he did. But
I'll tell you what's up with Mahomes. He's concerned about the 2 tackles, and he's been playing faster than he normally does.
well, didn't the coordinator tell him
He went through his reads. He used to
calm
go
down
through
his happy feet?
Well, he used to go through all of his reads, and now he's missing some things like that interception he threw that got Rashee Rice hurt. He
Yeah.
threw it in a quadruple coverage. There were 4 guys over there. He should not, and accurate throw would have still completed the pass, but he threw it over Kelsey's head.
The thing
And
that
Kelsey
worries
thought there was
me,
somebody behind him, so he didn't go for it. And it went right to the guy, and then Mahomes took out Rashee Rice, and there went the knee.
Yeah. the tackle. Shaheed is good for at least one good deep ball per game for the Saints, and then Kamara's looked decent this year. I think they keep picking the Chiefs every week. I think they'll win, but what's the spread?
Five.
3? 5?
5.
No, I think the Chiefs will cover maybe by 6 or 8.
All right.
And I'll go
42 and a half.
over.
All right. Saints scored 94 points or 96 points in their first 2 games. I think they're going to come back and start playing some offense. I really do. I think this week is the week they do it. Kansas City suffers their first defeat of the year. 30-27 Saints in I call this a major upset. I think this is the biggest upset of the week because anytime you're talking about a 4-0 team, you're not talking about chopped liver. I don't think the Saints are chopped liver, but they just haven't played as well the last 2 weeks as they played the first 2 weeks. They're more than capable of putting a big number on the Chiefs. I think they have team speed on them too. I don't know. We'll see. 30-27. I'll take the Saints. I'll go with the over. Harris.
Saints play a hell of a lot better when they're indoors and not outdoors. They are an indoor team, period. Brian, I will say one comment you made. Andy Reid being the best coach in the NFL right now, I think him and Dan Quinn are probably running 1-2 between the two of them, one way or the other. So, anyway, until the Chiefs get beat, I'm going to take them week in and week out. 34-13 Kansas City.
34-13. Harris will take the Chiefs and the over. All right. Let's go back and look at these locks. We saw the locks earlier. Only, let's see, a couple people got the locks right. Brian, he misses it. Harris
Missed.
with the Jets, he misses it. Keith with the Raiders, he got it. Tim with Houston, they didn't have a problem. They covered. And Rob, they didn't cover, but they did win. So with a lock, they just have to win the ball game. So I'll be last to pick this week. Brian, lock of the week. We'll just say you can only have pro teams. Let's do it that way.
Yeah, I like San Francisco over Arizona.
San Francisco straight up over to Arizona. So we'll say 49ers for Brian. Harris missed last week, so let's see what Harris is going to take this week.
Washington was a close second for me too.
I'm going that way. I'm going to go Washington.
Washington Commanders. How about that?
I hate that.
When's the last time Harris took Commanders
Never.
as his lock? Keith, have at it, my friend.
All right. Gosh, it's hard, but the Jaguars are a mess, but they're at home. The Dolphins.
Keith hasn't given us our pick about that yet, so I will get them to you, Brian. I'll get those picks to you.
Okay. Just send them an email.
Yeah, and I'll just give you the straight ups.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just give you straight ups, and then I'll take care of it. I'll take care of ones with.
I'll go with the Chiefs.
Keith says he likes the Chiefs that good. He'll take them. Tim. Tim's going to take my team right out from under me right here.
Well, maybe not.
Yeah, you will.
All right,
But
I think I maybe will. I'll take the Baltimore Ravens over the Bengals.
No, you didn't take it from me.
Okay.
And who am I going to take, guys?
Steelers.
Nope.
Bears.
Patriots.
No. Somebody's undefeated.
The Vikings.
The 49ers.
Yeah, I'm taking the Vikings to roll the Jets, man. Minnesota is going to kick their asses one way and then roll their asses the other way. Yeah. Yeah. The Jets are a mess.
Yeah, better
Jets
coach
are
than
a mess.
Minnesota.
They
for
really
sure.
are. All right. We are 4 weeks in. 3 top teams. Harris, in no particular order. Who are your top 3?
Kansas City, Washington, and Pittsburgh.
Ooh. Wow. Okay. Brian.
I like Kansas City. I think they're still, I know they're down some people, but they keep finding ways. And I like Baltimore. I think Baltimore's getting it together, and the Vikings.
Okay. Keith.
Kansas City, Baltimore, and I'm gonna go with the Lions. I mean, I know the Vikings are playing good, but I just don't think that's gonna be sustained for the season. I think they're playing a little bit above themselves. I think some teams will find some way to attack them. I'm not saying they're not a good team, but the Lions, I just have more confidence in.
I got you. Tim.
The Chiefs. Oof. Home run for the Brewers.
Oh,
Let's see. You know what? I'll throw a surprise number 2 in there. Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Nice little win there. And
So you got Kansas City, Tampa Bay,
and Minnesota.
Okay. Yeah, it is 1-0 for the Mets. Yeah.
Oh,
All right. I'm going to take a different team than everybody. Oh, is it 1-1?
1-1.
Oh, is it 1-1? Oh, okay. I thought it was 1-1.
Hey, what, Tim? A lot of the Chiefs players are still having nightmares over that Tampa Bay Kansas City Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that the Chiefs were missing 3/4 of their offensive line.
They were missing their whole offensive line, actually.
Yeah.
It is 1-1. Okay. Yeah, Kansas City. Until if they get beat this week, they're still a top 3 team. I'm taking them. Minnesota. Yeah, and there's a lot of them out there, but right now, who the hell? I don't think Baltimore would beat the Niners. I don't think Buffalo would beat the Niners. I don't think Washington would beat the Niners. I think the Niners. Nobody wants to play them. I think by the time it's all said and done, they'll win the West, and they're gonna dominate. I really do. I think they're gonna represent the NFC like they do like they have, or like I think they will anyway. And I think it'll be a Niners Kansas City Super Bowl right now, the way it's looking to me anyway. Washington really impressed me last week.
I think of Washington the way I thought of the Chiefs, 6 or 8 years, about 7 years ago. The offense is definitely there. Can they just get the defense to do enough? And that's where their focus will be. And if they get there, they can do something in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I didn't hear what you guys might have said about the Eagles early. What are the odds Sirianni doesn't get through their year without?
Well, we didn't talk about the Eagles because they got to
fired.
buy. They got to buy this week. They got to buy this week. And that's got me thinking he may make it all the way through the year. They're coming off a loss, a bad loss.
Yeah.
And if you're going to get rid of him during this season, Monday would have been the day to do it because you got nothing going on this week, and then you got another week ahead of you before you play. And
It's just his personality, I think, is going to end up.
I don't see where he's helping this team win. I'll say that much. But I don't think Kellen Moore's helping them at all either. I think Kellen Moore's been a detriment to this team.
He's setting them up for failure. Period.
Yeah, if you go back and look at them 3 weeks ago, they have 3rd and 3. At the other team's 12. And it's one thing to throw a screen pass, but when you throw one of those diagonal screen passes where the guy's got his back to you, there's a 50-50 chance he drops that ball. And everybody's been on, well, I can't believe that son of a bitch, Saquon Barkley, he lost that game. No, he did not.
Play calling.
Play calling.
Yes. You run that football, you win that game, and end it right there. You do not throw the football. They are a pass-happy team anyway. And then on top of that, everybody worries about, well, they do the tush push. Now, guess what? The only way you do the tush push is if you got a 4th and 1, 4th and 2, and have to do something like that. Other than that, I still think they're a good team. Don't get me wrong. I still think they win the NFC East. I'm picking them to still win the NFC East. But they got a lot of problems on their hands. But I just think they match up with Washington too well. Really, too well. I think Washington's going to have their hands full against that Philadelphia team when they do play them. And they don't play them until – the only good thing for Washington is they don't play them until the end of the year. And Washington doesn't get they don't get their bye to what, week 11? I think
Something like that.
Yeah.
And anybody that gets their bye this early in the year, you can't think they're going to have a lot of success late in the year because any changes you're going to make, you need to do it now, right now. And by them not getting rid of Sirianni 2 days ago. That tells me they're going to ride with this dude this year. They're going to ride with him. But I got a feeling if they're not in the playoffs and they're playing out their last game of the year, win or lose, if they don't make the playoffs, he's out of here. Same difference with Dallas.
Whose bye week were you looking for, Rob?
Yeah, bye week for Washington, maybe week 10.
Washington's week 14.
Week 14.
Week 14?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got buys that late.
They got the last. They're in that group of 6 that has that last bye.
But look at week 15. Do they play the Eagles?
Wait a minute.
I think so. They played them late. They got either the Eagles or the Cowboys late. Because they got the Falcons last, I think.
All right, they 18, 17, week 6. They have the bye in week 14. Then they go to the Saints, home against the Eagles, home against Atlanta, and then at Dallas.
Yeah, home against Atlanta. Okay, so I mean, if they're going to have to make any changes to their deal, they'll be ready for the playoffs, I guess. But my goodness, you done played 13 games before you get your bye. That's pretty hard. Really, this is my opinion. You guys can state it and agree or disagree. I think each divisional team, I think NFC East should all 4 get their buys the same week.
I do agree with that.
Huh?
I agree with that.
And I'll say go far as say this. I think they should play an NFC team, have the bye, and then play an NFC East team again on both sides. And I think they all should do that way. That way, there's no advantages at all. I don't care if it's a home or a road game before the bye or after the bye. But
I think you get ready to buy and go to a 20 game.
And those could be the games you're going to play overseas too. After the bye week.
Yeah, it's just crazy stuff.
Well,
now,
you do know before their bye, they do have a 3-game stretch of cupcakes.
Yeah.
They got Carolina, Chicago, and the Giants.
Who is that?
That's Washington.
Carolina.
Oh, cupcakes. Look at what the Bears schedule is.
3 games back to back: Carolina, Chicago, and the Giants.
Yeah.
Look at Chicago's schedule. You want to talk about a cupcake schedule?
Who's?
Chicago. Look at their schedule.
Mm-hmm. 5 weeks in a row of it.
They got the Panthers and Jaguars.
Washington, Arizona, New England, Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit.
Well, until the late part, but I mean the next 4
Yeah,
or 5 weeks.
they got to play 6 games against those 3 teams.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm but like the next month and a half or so.
But they got 8 games against teams with losing records last year. I think 8 or
One more thing, Rob, about the Eagles. I think they're going to have to find a way to get Jalen Hurts back on track. He's not played the way he played 2 years ago.
You're right.
And if they're going to do something, they're going to have to get him back right.
Is their number 1 receiver still out, or was he out?
Yeah. AJ Brown's out.
Yeah.
Smith's out too,
Chris,
right?
you see what the Eagles have coming off their bye?
Now,
I mean, okay, you got Cleveland 1-3, you got the Giants 1-3, you got Cincinnati 1-3, you got Jacksonville 0-4, then you got Dallas 2-2, then you get a team with a winning record in Washington.
did the Jags won? Have they won it all? They won it
Yeah,
all.
they're on a 10-game losing streak.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Right now, if you're going to call the crapper of the league, like, okay, this is the toilet, this is the bottom, this is the max. Tim, who is it?
The worst team?
Just the crapper of a team. Well, they don't have to have the worst record, but you're just like,
Forgive
okay,
me if I seem a little biased, but right now the Cleveland Browns are terrible.
Keith.
Yeah, I kind of feel that too, because I mean, you got a quarterback that got so much money invested in, and I don't think he's worth hardly a dime, really. I mean, he can run around some. He's got an arm, but he's just, I don't think he's very good. And then I don't know how inspired the rest of the team is either. And then I don't know how much respect the coach has. They've got talent with Myles Garrett and stuff on defense, but that's just a mess. And if the Jaguars, I think, have enough talent, or if they do make a coaching change or something, maybe all of a sudden they're at least a respectable team for that roster. I think Carolina, they don't have a lot of talent either, but I think that they've got a couple running backs that they can rely on. They got a veteran quarterback, and they they'll probably be benefiting again from some early round draft picks next year, but they've had some early round draft picks, in recent years, except they're wasting them on quarterbacks that can't play.
So your trash right now, your trash would be,
I guess.
Browns?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think so, because there just seems to be so much disarray there, and it seems to still be spiraling out of control. And I don't know that there's going to be anything that can fix it. I mean, at least again with Jacksonville, I think the quarterback is better, and I think they probably have more talent there. That if they do make a change at the coaching position, I mean, they're a dumpster fire right now. But if they do change it, and I think they will, I think they'll be a better team after that.
Brian.
Well, it's certainly been a group this effort in Cleveland. There was a broadcaster 2 weeks ago who was wondering if Deshaun Watson was actually left-handed. He was throwing so bad. He actually said on broadcast, is he left-handed or is he right-handed? And then for Cleveland, they've been known for their running game.
Oh, wow.
They have not tried to run the ball. They did until last week. They tried a little bit with Ford. And why did they let Kareem Hunt go? Hunt did have 9 touchdowns last year with them, even though he was injured. He only had 3.0 average. But this year, he's got his burst back. I mean, the Chiefs are seeing it in practice.
Yeah.
We saw in the game last week. He can play. Offensive line is injured, and Chubb's coming back. Probably a few weeks.
He started practicing this week, but it won't play for another probably.
Who's the
They'll
trash?
probably hold him out until they can get a little better offensive line going. I don't know.
Well, everybody's going to be keeping on him. I mean, they don't have to defend against
So
anything
you
else.
say that's your trash right now, Brian? Is it Browns?
Browns, yeah.
Harris.
I think you got to look somewhere here in the state of Florida. It's between 3: the Dolphins, the Jaguars, or Florida State. I don't know which one's worse. Right now,
Florida hasn't done anything to write home about either.
Yeah, because of the disarray right now, I have to say Jacksonville.
Yeah,
The team that I came out the gate saying, you're overrated, you're not as good as people say, and I'm starting to hear a couple of whispers now that Mr. Burrow ain't happy. He's not happy there. Is there any chance in hell he gets traded?
No.
I look, there are some teams that would love it. Carolina would love it. Carolina's got the cap space and everything. Can you imagine Joe Burrow going to Carolina?
Oh, Burrow.
Burrow, yeah. I think Cincinnati is in disarray. I said weeks ago, week 1, I said they're a 5-win team at best. They are not good right now. They are stinking. I mean, Washington was beating them before they even realized they had a quarterback. And this week the Ravens get to come to town and they're going to eat them up and spit them out. That's the thing. The Ravens get to play them twice. The Steelers get to play them twice. And even the Browns get to play them twice. I even think the Browns are a better team than this Bengals team. That's just me. I think the Browns have a defensive line. I think they got a running game. I think the Bengals are just totally and their offensive line. If there's a worse one out there, I ain't seen it. I mean, I realize there's a couple of teams that don't have good offensive lines. But when you allow, 14 sacks in 2 weeks, I mean, that's pretty damn bad. And we're not talking about a guy that can't run. We're not talking about a guy that's a rookie. We're not talking about a guy that has no talent. I will straight up say he's a top 10 quarterback in the league, and I'm not sure he ain't a top 5 quarterback in the league. He has no help around him. He's got less help. Dak has more help than he does. I mean, we're talking this kid has no help around him. Chase, I mean, to me, I don't think he's capable of carrying a team. I just don't think he is. I think there's a lot better receivers out there. I just this team from top to bottom, I think you could strip it down. You get rid of your coach, and you start trading some players. I really think they're that bad. I really do. I mean, remember 3 weeks ago, the Patriots stepped in there and beat their asses.
That was week 1.
What else you got to say about that? The Patriots, their defense played really well, no doubt about it. But the Patriots have no clue on offense, and they stopped that team cold. I really think that some heads are going to roll in Cincinnati before it's all said and done. I'm not sure the kid is healthy either, Burrow. I feel for him. I really do, because I would absolutely love to see him in New York at either one of those places, whether it's the Giants, whether it's the Jets. Give him a chance, but where he's at right now, nah, he ain't getting nothing done. Well, Mets now got a couple more on the board. It's 3-1 against Milwaukee, and that's in top of the second. So that's looking pretty good. Has anybody got a closing comment they'd like to make?
Glenn Bonesteel says the Dolphins are his team. He thinks it's the mess right now.
Glenn Bonesteel.
They don't seem to have much to work with when Tua's not there. They just don't look like a good team at all.
Right. They don't have a backup plan, a backup quarterback. And nowadays, it's great to have a number 1 quarterback. But if you don't have a number 2 quarterback, you're in trouble in this league, because chances are before the end of the year, sometime or another, number 2 is going to have to step up and do something. And some teams have been lucky enough not to have that happen to them.
They must be referring to last year when they lost to Jacksonville. Jacksonville hasn't lost anyone this year, but
well, they haven't beat anybody this year.
Jacksonville ain't beat nobody. Yeah,
they ain't won in 10 weeks.
Yeah. Glenn.
Preseason don't mean
preseason doesn't matter.
Oh, preseason, okay.
At least in preseason.
Yeah, but hey, Keith, you weren't here earlier when we were talking about Tua is got to miss this game and 2 more, and then he's eligible to come back. And he's at least now saying he's getting no concussion symptoms.
So that's 7 weeks into that's 7 games down before he even comes back. So it ain't but 10 games left in the season.
So Buffalo might have that division sewn up kind of early. Then.
Rob, I'm going to throw this out. It's sort of part of my closing comments. North Carolina, we're thinking about you. There's parts that still don't have running water and that are closed off. But I think there might be parts of Carolina that might get water back before Tua gets back in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
Also, Augusta.
South Carolina's in a bad way too. We actually got hit with 11.7 inches of rain.
Yeah, my niece is still without power.
I don't know if it was a real picture or not, but there was a picture of like a roller coaster that I saw from Six Flags in Georgia somewhere that was almost underwater or halfway underwater.
Yeah, my grandson is in the Army in Augusta, Georgia. They're going to be without water and electricity, I think, till October 5th.
Wow. Glenn.
They just called up 1,000 active duty. I'm guessing out of Georgia to go help North Carolina. So I don't know if he's part of that or not. I'm gonna call my daughter, see if he's part of that or not.
Glenn Bonesteel. I just got my power back after 4.5 days. He's in walking distance of where they play the Masters, Augusta, Georgia. He's right there in that town.
Yeah.
I say walking distance. I'm not sure he can walk to the tournament, but I'm sure he knows where they play it at, and I'm sure he's not that far away. I'm not sure how big Augusta is. Is Augusta so big, Glenn? Or from where you live, he can get a quick yes or no to it. From where you live, could you walk to where the Masters is played? but I know he lives in the Augusta, Georgia area, and I don't think that's
Oh, I see. Okay, he just said he got his power back after
4.5 days ago. Yeah. I wonder if he could actually walk to it, but that's where he's at. Yeah.
Yeah, like I went Tuesday, Wednesday. I went about 5.5 days with that tornado that hit Ohio about 6 weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
We had a I live right outside the Fort Eisenhower. Oh, okay, I got you. From where we lived the other night on TV.
Oh, so my grandson's got his power back then. Good, because he's at Fort Eisenhower.
Where we were at, from a hurricane, 7 tornadoes hit my county. 7. 2 destroyed homes, and we're not talking. One was the F3, whatever F3 equals to, and one was the F2. F3 took down 3 brick ranch homes, flattened them down. From here, it probably takes 25 minutes south of us. The other one was at F2, about 11 miles away to the south and the east of us, and it took out 4 mobile homes and actually moved one about 70 feet down a hill, kind of. People were in it.
Was it rolling or just sliding?
Yeah, it rolled. It got on the wheels and rolled.
Imagine being and the furniture's hitting you and everything. God.
Yeah. Oh no! Think about this: your power goes out because the cords. So
and then if you got any silverware or anything like that,
then you're rolling. Then it's at night. It's at night. We're talking. We're 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock
in the
at
dark,
pouring down rain, and yeah, we understand.
14 miles, he says.
4 or 5 kids in there, along with a couple. So about 10 miles as a bird fly. I got you. From Augusta. So yeah, it was 4 kids in that trailer, along with a mom. I don't think a dad was there, but I think it was 5 people in that trailer.
Those are okay.
And I can only imagine. They said it rolled 70 feet. 70 feet probably felt like 7 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. But by the time they didn't lose a roof, they didn't lose and I think either yesterday or today they moved it back. And they're in the process of getting their electric back and doing all that.
You'd be lucky not to
church across the street. They're getting water. They're getting all this stuff together to send down there. There are 14. I've heard 14 minimum hotels in the Asheville area that they're going to try to get furniture and all that stuff back up for them. Well, the Gideons, when my father passed away, we had people donate Bibles in my father's name to go into hotels. And they're sending some down to the Asheville area. And that's got his name on it. Still plenty of people in the area without power. I feel I am lucky to have it back this early. Good deal, Glenn. Yes, sir. And hey, email us anytime. Let us know how things are going down that way, because I don't get a chance to go down to Atlanta a lot, or not Atlanta, but down to I've never been to Augusta. Oh my God, you don't even know how I would feel if somebody was like, "Oh, I got a ticket to go to Augusta on, I don't know, even a Friday." I wouldn't give a damn. Whenever. I love golf that good. But yeah, man, we really are. Anybody affected by this hurricane? Tennessee, my wife's boss, they got 17.5 inches of rain. Right there around Pigeon Forge, Dollywood area.
Yeah.
They had 4 of their rides washed away. They're in the process of rebuilding that right now, just in order to be able to keep things going for the fall rush. Yeah, it's just.
Harris, you were out delivering food when that was going on?
Yeah. Wait, I'll tell you what. In Orlando, we had a little bit of wind. I had no rain.
Oh,
I had more rain last night than we did during the hurricane.
Asheville, North Carolina. If you go watch Asheville, North Carolina on YouTube, and you'll see they call it the Arts District. There are people walking the streets in tennis shoes, and you can't see their knees. And let me tell you right now, Asheville is not. Asheville's on a mountain, folks. Asheville. Keith can tell you. Keith has rode with me down there before.
yeah.
Asheville, North Carolina is right there around where the Biltmore Estates and all that. That a lot of that just got washed away. But the whole Arts District, and they're saying it could be worth up to as much as $10 million worth of art.
Wow.
They ain't found it. They can't find it.
Uh-huh.
And at one of the rivers, I can't tell you the river because I don't know the name of the river. There was a family that was in a mobile home, so we're like a double wide family of 4. That's on YouTube, and all of a sudden the damn thing becomes a boat, and they're going down a river. They are going down a river, and you can slowly see the house going down. They're climbing up onto the roof, and they were saved by the people in the helicopters. But I tell you what, the Lord above was watching after those folks because
Rob, are you talking about the French Broad River?
it may be, but it took out a bridge, and then all of a sudden you just start seeing this house going down the road, and then all of a sudden, I feel it's going to take years for Asheville to recover. Yes. Like I say, they're on a mountain cliff anyway. So any amount of water that you get in the streams and stuff more than usual, all you're going to do is see mudslides and stuff like that. I would not go down there for my life right now. I would go down there and stop short. And I know some places where I can go to help them with water and stuff like that. But good Lord, I tell you, it's crazy how things go on like that. It's the worst they've had, they said, since 1896. So we're talking 132 years, which is absolutely bonkers. Absolutely. Oh, 100, is that right?
128, I think.
128 years, yeah.
Brian, have you had some really bad tornadoes go kind of close
Oh,
to
where we live, I've seen 6 tornadoes in my life. I saw the more Oklahoma damage because I went to the Big 12 baseball tournament that year.
Is that where tornadoes wiped it out twice?
Yeah, 2005, I think, was when the time that I went. There was the neighborhood was so clean, a mile wide, half mile to a mile wide through the whole city. It was unbelievable. At the shopping mall, there were cars pushed up against the wall of the shopping mall, 6 high, just on top of each other, blew them up against. So yeah, I've seen some tornado damage. Now, Lori, after Katrina, my wife Lori, she and a friend and some few people went down to New Orleans and did what they call a work and witness trip, where they rebuilt homes, taking out the bad drywall, and putting up new drywall. And they talked about it 2 or 3 days ago, maybe doing it again to go to North Carolina and do that. But Lori decided she's too old. She was a lot younger then, and she just said she didn't think she could do it. She's just too old now.
So right now, this is week 5. Let's recap. Brian's lock of the week is the Niners. Harris is the Commanders. And he also says the Commanders win the NFC East. You sticking with that, Harris?
Yes, sir.
I thought maybe Harris drank a little bit and then sobered up and then
I
decided.
wish I did.
Okay. Keith, you taking the Kansas City Chiefs this week? Tim is taking the Baltimore Ravens, and I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings. Until further notice, Minnesota Vikings are on my radar as being one of the top 3 teams in the NFL.
All right, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Bill Belichick coaching next year?
Nowhere.
No.
What do you say, Tim?
He'll be in
No,
charge.
he's enjoying doing the
Yeah.
DoorDash and
Morgan and I talked about that yesterday. He's liking dating a young girl and
Yeah,
enjoying what he's doing. He's not going to coach again.
No, I don't think so. I think he's Vegasing it up too. I think he's yeah.
Mhm.
And I look, if he's going to do anything, this is my prediction, Harris. If he does anything, he's going to go up in that booth and he might take one of those jobs and one of those little cookie jobs where
He's made it known he wants to coach again.
He may do it. I just don't think he will. We'll see what happens. 50 years is a whole lot to give up to a young lady there where you better have all the energy to keep.
Jason Kelsey kind of sound like he might be somebody that would be decent in a broadcast booth when he was.
He does it. He does his podcast now.
For ESPN on Monday nights.
Yeah, so he's all right. I mean, I know one thing. I couldn't stand to listen to those Mannings. If I had to listen to them, no,
I haven't even tried to listen.
Yeah, I struggle with that too. I kind of
like
I kind of enjoy Tom Brady in a broadcast booth.
Oh, you know what? This is me. I told Keith the other day, we was just talking on the phone. I said, hell, I didn't even realize it was Brady doing it. It was just, I've always liked the other guy that was a tight end for
Olsen.
Greg Olsen. Yeah,
Greg
Olsen.
Greg Olsen. I've
He's good.
always liked him. I think he does a great job.
Mark Sanchez is good.
Yeah, he ain't bad. The only one I can't stand to talk to is, well, you know what? I'd love to talk to the Dallas coach if we could do it. I can't stand him.
As far as calling a game, I like Jim Nance and I like Kevin Harlan.
I like
Kevin
Nance.
Harlan.
That's good.
Outstanding.
The problem is, I just can't stand listening to Romo.
I miss Howard Cosell.
Huh?
I miss Howard Cosell.
No,
He was cantankerous.
Because I tell you, Don Criqui. How about Don Criqui? I like him.
Yeah.
I
I just didn't like Trumpy.
I like
You were annoyed with
Criqui,
Trumpy.
and I was watching the 1979 playoff game with. I think it was Trumpy with Criqui. It was Steelers and somebody playing. And, Miami, maybe. I think it was Miami. So, all right, we
I
are
always
done.
I always liked Tim Ryan back in
Yeah,
Right.
CBS days, he did well. He didn't do bad at all. Keith, you want to get the picks to me after this right now, or you want to wait until I'm on?
I can.
All right.
Hey, Harris, do you have any feelings or thoughts on Auburn this year? I haven't heard you even mention them. We haven't talked about them, but
And we're still not.
okay.
We
You all
had
have
that
a great
conversation earlier.
Yep, we did. We going to wish everyone a great week. God bless, and we will talk to you soon, folks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
all right, bye-bye.
Later.
Bye.
Guys, I'm going to take off and go celebrate the Royals with the family.
All right.
Oh, yeah.